Sheila Fogarty on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
Well, it is a great day for LBC's reporters, two of them anyway. Rachel Venables brought us details earlier on, a story she has not put down ever since the Grenfell fire, how those buildings still with dangerous cladding and fire safety issues related to cladding, how the people living in them are being affected by that. And the latest that she has found relates to insurance, the capacity, the ability to insure homes. Not only has the price of insurance rocketed, for many, they can't get insured at all. So Rachel has been focusing on this today, spoke to her earlier on. Matt Hodges Long joins me now, CEO and co-founder of the Building Safety Register. And I know, Matt, that your mission is to keep the pressure on the government and others so that people don't take their eye off this.
Yeah, thank you for talking to me, Sheila. Yeah, there's certainly a lot going on at the moment with Brexit and COVID and all the other things that sort of keep knocking this story off the agenda. So thank you for making the time to cover it.
I'm looking here at a tweet that Rachel has received actually from UK Cladding Action Groups. I'm sure you're familiar with them. And the increase in insurance premiums for buildings, well, for the second time today, I'm staggered. £12,000 to £180,000, £40,000 to £235,000, £75,000 to £650,000. I mean, it's just insane.
It does seem that way. I mean, there are reasons for some of it that we can identify, but there's sort of there's a big factor there of where on earth did this price increase come from? So we've done a lot of work to try and sort of justify, reverse engineer why we're seeing those increases, and some of it we can explain and some of it we can't.
Can some of those really high ones, where they go up from 75 to 650, actually be justified?
Not to me, and I haven't seen a justification yet from anybody that I would find credible. I can see the reason for some of that. Maybe a 100, 200% increase I can sort of understand and work out. But when you're looking at 700, 800, 900% increases within a year, it does sort of stretch or beg a belief, really.
And whatever the level of insurance or whatever the financial difficulties that people are incurring because of this, what do you say should happen?
I think the first thing is that we need to understand the risk properly if we're looking at insurance specifically, and we need to call on the regulator, the Financial Conduct Authority, to actually take a proper look at what's going on. Their job is to protect vulnerable customers, and our contention is that customers that are in, let's just say, apartments with building safety issues, some of them sort of unknown, are vulnerable. They don't have any control over the insurance buying process. So effectively, they're a forced customer. They have to pay what they're told. And as you heard before, if you don't pay up for the insurance cover, you can invalidate your lending. You're running a huge risk, both personally and financially. And you don't really have an opportunity to do anything about it. It's a forced purchase, as I say.
And the people that contact your organisation, the Building Safety Register, what is it doing to them, this?
It's ruinous, both financially and emotionally, really. I mean, I sort of made a list of everything that the leaseholders are having to deal with at the moment. So there's EWS1, which you talked about, being hit with insurance, remediation, knowing whether they can afford to or whether they'll get any government funding. We've got all the new government legislation that's coming through, and this sort of tsunami is just accelerating still. We haven't reached the point where we're slowing down the other side. So we've got a government that sort of are approaching it with a peacetime response, and really what we're calling for is a crisis response with proper urgency to actually start intervening and dealing with some of these sort of key issues.
Gosh, you've got an uphill battle, haven't you, given what's going on? Is there any evidence that they're listening?
We know that they listen, but they don't really respond. They're very good at talking to industry figures and working groups, and this has been going on for the 3 years post-Grenfell. They're not very good at communicating to the impacted residents that they're looking to actually push these charges onto. And we're really calling for sort of a more open dialogue. There are lots of experts that we deal with every day of the week that are all sort of standing on the sidelines that have got solutions. But actually, if you're not a member of the inner circle, it's very difficult to actually break in and have a meaningful, constructive conversation with the government about these issues.
Thank you very much indeed, Matt Hodges Long, CEO and co-founder of the Building Safety Register, a story we will very much be returning to.